Hey, it's Monday.
Let's get this show going, man.
Welcome to the Bleeding Burgundy podcast, a Washington Commanders podcast for fans by fans, with your hosts, Jessy Martin.
The Cowboys are finished, you understand me?
John Taman.
Pull down my trousers and do your job.
Scott Hartley.
Well, that was dreadful.
And occasionally, Keith Gregg.
So many social engagements, so little time.
And now, your host.
Hey, that's me. I'm your host. I'm John Taman, and this is the Bleeding Burgundy podcast. Hey, man, it's the new year, right? Isn't that what they always call this day? January 1st is a brand new year somehow.
Man, I haven't seen y'all since last year. What's going on, fellas?
I have no idea. But I'll tell you what, I think I have put my thumb right on the fucking Commanders and Redskins problem all these years is they've never had a resolution to win. They've never resolved on New Year's Day to win. Usually they're just talking about losing. So anyway, Happy New Year to you both. Happy New Year over there, my friend Jessy Martin. There he is.
Hello.
How you doing? What'd you do last night?
Not a damn thing.
Nothing? I guess not. You got your
too
bottom
old
all
to be
sloppy
doing all
last
that hoopla, going out, watching the ball drop.
Fuck the ball. I swear to God. Oh, by the way, down here, and Barrow in front of us. Now, you people got the New Year before we did over there in the UK. Isn't that correct?
We did, yeah. Yeah.
Why didn't you warn us about this shit? Why didn't you fucking warn us? I'm telling you, you could have told me, John, don't waste time watching any of these fucking bowl games. They absolutely suck.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I don't understand them.
He's
There you
speechless.
go.
I haven't seen a good game yet in one of these bowl games. They should just fucking have them all goddamn sponsored. They should have like the Metamucil Blowout Bowl because they all are blowout bowls. You know?
Is it 10 o'clock? Is it 10 o'clock tonight that the first one's on my time?
No,
So
the first of the playoff games, which I'm hoping are better, are starting in an hour and a half
okay, cool.
from here. All right, so I'm looking for a good game. Who do you got, Jessy? Who you picking in these games?
I got Michigan and Texas.
What about you, Scott? Scott doesn't care.
No idea. Don't really care.
Mm.
No.
I'm with you.
Bama probably. I don't know.
Fuck Bama. And the only reason why I'm picking Michigan is because I fucking hate Bama and their fans are just the most annoying fans on planet Earth. I mean, they're worse than Cowboys fans. I mean, fucking, I hate Bamites. Ugh.
Bamites. Now, I'll tell you what. Let me ask you this: if you had an opportunity to pick which one you think could actually spell Alabama, would you pick Cowboys fans or Alabama fans?
That's a good question.
All right, I'm not sure how else it would work like that. All right, I'm going with you because fuck Alabama, and I think Michigan's going to win the national championship, and that's just the way it's going to go. All right, so we did have a football game yesterday, such as it was. First thoughts on it. Go ahead, Scott. What do you got? Your first thoughts on the football game yesterday, in which the Commanders lost 27-10.
Better than actually what I thought it was going to be. It wasn't as much as a blowout as it should have been. 13-10 at halftime means that it was slightly competitive, especially with the injuries that we had within the backfield, defensive backs. Mate, we were trying to, catch people off Craigslist, I think, to go onto the field at the end. I mean, whoever heard of Whiteside, but it is what it is. They played well enough, but
yeah, they played better than the defensive backs that we've had on the field all year long.
I agree. The crew out there is probably going to be a 37-point game. Yeah, I thought they played all right. Forbes was sticking pretty well, I thought. Yeah. People have been picking on Forbes a little bit, but man, I thought he was right on top of these guys.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I don't understand the hate for Forbes on the touchdown for was it Ayuk's touchdown where it was a bit of a scrambled play by Purdy, and he lost the guy, but that isn't Forbes' fault when you actually look at the zone market.
It's the defensive front's fault for giving him a year behind there to
and this is something we probably need to discuss, because we have had zero pressures, zero sacks in the entirety since both Chase and Montez left.
Since we traded the two defensive ends, we haven't had fucking shit for pressure.
I think we've had 2 sacks since then, maybe 3, and that's about it.
And they were all from. I think 2 of them were from Daron Payne,
right?
Against the Jets.
It hasn't been good.
So it's not been good at all. I mean, Scott, obviously, he's been pressuring me to talk to you about Chase Young. Talking about taking 2 steps.
Yeah, I could give 2 shits about what the 2 Scotties think about Chase Young because the facts are the fucking facts. He was in the backfield most of the fucking game. And
McLaughlin and McLaren over there having a problem.
I'm sorry, y'all don't know what you're looking at. Okay, and y'all just looked at stats. Okay, because stats aren't fucking everything.
You know, I'm telling. We have won
by that account. Y'all are saying that Joey Bosa had a bad game, or Nick Bosa had a bad game.
It's not even that. I just don't think he had an effective game in that we were able to run the ball on. I think
we were our own backfield pressuring all fucking game long. I'm fucking made Lucas look like a little fucking ragdoll at times. Come on now.
It's hard to say because, like I say, we are our own worst enemy, and we've let Scott G get us all off our topics here. Scott, quit fucking with the show. All right, Jessy, your first thoughts on the afternoon. Go ahead.
I mean, it was a shit show for, I would say, what, 70% of the game? I mean, like the offense worked for 30% of the game. And
at the right time in the game, it worked the way it was supposed to.
Oh, yeah. That's what I mean. We saw a normal offense that Sam looked a little bit, he looked comfortable for a moment in that game. Mm-hmm. And then, when you have a coach that would, just keep calling 5 and 7 step drops, and then you get a quarterback that gets pass happy because he's got, Bosa and Young, just wrapping around them. And that's when you get your young quarterback confused and scared in the pocket. And that's what happens, man. Then you didn't, you don't protect him with the run game.
He was. I thought, like I said yesterday, we were doing our post game show. Sam introduced a new level of suck to his play yesterday, which was the double clutch. All right, which he had not been doing, and the double clutch. There were times when the pressure was there, but he stepped up a little bit and had the time to throw. A professional quarterback's got the time to throw there, and is protected by the referees from getting his head beat in. But he double clutch, and then the ball would be either defended or he'd throw it out of bounds. He wasn't trusting what he was seeing. And you're right. For 30% of the game or so, we did see an offense that was balanced. We saw a running game that was working, and it trickles down to the whole offense. And I don't understand how Bieniemy just hasn't been able to figure this out this year. If you can't fucking pass block, then fucking run the ball, because it gives your goddamn offensive linemen they're just getting their asses kicked all day long in front of God and everybody a chance to throw a punch. All right, you run the ball early and often, they get a chance to throw a few fucking blows. And it changes the whole dynamic of what they do, especially if you have a back like Robinson who's ripping off 12, 15, 18-yard runs early in the game, because then you can't pin your ears back and just cover 12 yards deep and then just let everything rush towards the quarterback. It worked like a charm for about, I don't know, all until Eric Bieniemy woke up and said, "Hey, where's my other goddamn play sheet? What the fuck is this? Get this thing out of here. I can't find my pass plays." And then started throwing the ball all over the yard.
I thought
Fred Warner at the 1 yard.
Fred Warner and Hargreaves were unbelievable yesterday. The pressure that came on from them against Sam and in the pocket made him start to have the jeebies. I mean, there was times where Sam was in the pocket again and he looked to bail out, as he has done a few times. As you said, John, that clutch, the double clutch, the one where he got hit for the interception on his head was a double clutch. If he just releases that's a completion. And it was, again, back to weirdly with Sam again. This is why I do think they are going to go QB, is because in the moments where you need a play, where you're close to getting a play, he shits the bed. He did it again yesterday, threw an interception and shit the bed in a time where. True, in a time where we needed the points. You're in the red zone. You don't get picked off there. It's just, not what you do as a starting franchise QB. Unfortunately, I feel for Sam because I was on the Sam train. Still am a little bit. I still think he could do a job in the NFL, but it might not be doing a job here.
I think he's
or it
too
might
broke.
Not be doing a job here.
Do
you think he's broken because of Bieniemy now?
Yeah, 100%. Bieniemy has broken what could have been type of player. You talk about players like a Jordan Reed. What could have been if he didn't get injured? That's kind of the same lines of how I think Sam is now. Is
so he's irredeemable
if we would have protected him.
He's irredeemable. He can't get over this.
I don't know. I mean, Carr didn't get over it after his rookie season.
That's true.
Like
Patrick Ramsey.
When you get shell shocked, look at Sam Darnold too. I mean,
Well, there's a difference with Sam Darnold in that he sucked going in. Fuck him. He had big.
I don't know. He was pretty fucking highly touted coming out of college.
He was highly touted coming out of college.
The Jets
absolutely. I tell you what, you could have all the highly touted shit coming out of college and a handful of shit, and you could probably sell the handful of shit for something because you ain't got nothing in there.
Well, I mean, the facts remains, John. He was a very good quarterback coming out. I mean, he was good at USC.
He got here, and like I said yesterday when we were talking about, he came in the game and he immediately fumbled. Right, so there should be a stat called Darnolding. He went out there and he had 3 Darnolds today, and that can really include practically anything. A fucking interception. You could call it a howl now because it's just an inexplicable where the fuck were you throwing an interception or how'd the ball come out of your hands.
Yeah.
But it's Darnolding. Anyway, we're not going to argue about Sam Darnold. He got in the game yesterday, so congratulations to Sam Darnold. He won his bet with his buddies in the bar that he would get his uniform dirty before fucking New Year's Eve, before New Year's Day. So good for him.
I think what we need to do is really look at the 49ers and say this is a franchise that we could be if we build it correctly and if we do it right. This is what you have because honestly, that everyone's going, oh, Brock Purdy isn't a game manager. He's a game manager. He is not a brilliant quarterback. He is not a good elite quarterback. Nowhere near. He's not the MVP, and he shouldn't be the MVP. I mean, who would you rather have, Lamar Jackson or Brock Purdy? It's not even a question for me. You know what I mean? In that respect. But look at the talent that he has around him on both sides of the ball and how you can build that talent. That's what we should aim to be. It's going to take years for us to get there, but we've got to be kind of patient and get on with it. You're going to have 2 years probably before we're even starting to be competitive because this roster needs, that was evident yesterday. It didn't give up. The team did not give up, but the roster needs a serious reboot after 4 years under Ron Rivera. Has it got better? I think it's got worse.
Yeah, it's not even a question of whether it's gotten better or not.
I mean, right now it's worse. I think it was a hell of a lot better last year and in the year before, but for some reason it got worse overall. You know,
and I believe that all boils down to coaching. They don't teach their players jack shit. They just expect them to go out there and do what says on the X and the O and say that's what you're doing. And do
and again, good old Mark Tyler putting out stupid ass tweets about the Chase, I'm not the Trent Williams ordeal.
No.
If people are still thinking that there was any salvaging that relationship, it wasn't.
I don't know.
So you can't blame Rivera whatsoever for.
No, he walked into the end of it. He walked right into the damn thing. So there's no point. I'm telling you, these are things. This is a road that has been trampled to pieces. All right.
So when you're talking about like what Scott was saying, what my point was when Scott was saying, like when you're talking about is this roster better? I don't equate Trent Williams because that was you can't count that against Rivera.
Can't really count that against Sheriff either, really.
Yeah, and Sheriff too. Yeah, you can't really count that against.
You can't go player for player anyway. You just can't do player for player anyway because you mentioned San Francisco, Brock Purdy, and Lamar Jackson. I guarantee you this: whichever one that fucking Kyle Shanahan has, he'll develop an offense that makes them the best that they can be. And the difference is coaching. This coaching staff doesn't do jack shit, nothing. All of you people that are out there that are constantly talking about fucking how soft this team is because Bieniemy yells at them and they don't give up. They don't look. I'm just gonna
sit down and shut the fuck up. Shut up! Shut up! Sit the fuck down and shut up! Shut up and sit down. Will you shut up? Just sit your ass down here and shut up.
Look how well we're responding to all that fucking tough love. We haven't won a game since goddamn November the 5th. Just shut the fuck up. All right, look.
Been better off with Scott Turner.
Now, the week, of course, started out with a gigantic amount of controversy because we had Jacoby Brissett was going to start for a minute, and then all of a sudden, he's got a hamstring injury. He's got a hamstring injury, right? Here's what's going to happen. So a lot of people, of course, thought the worst and thought that it was a big controversy that should have been. It was just a big conspiracy. Scott, what do you think of what happened?
I don't think it's a conspiracy. You saw him trying to warm up beforehand, and he couldn't go. I mean, he's a professional. I don't think he would do that as a professional.
You can get out there and limp around. Jesse, what do you think?
Yeah, he was just trying to save face, man. I think something fishy's going on here.
All right. Well, we actually have audio of the phone call that Ron took on Friday morning.
Hello?
Ron, it's Josh.
Oh, hey there, boss. Happy holidays.
Yeah, look, Ron, what's this with you starting Jacoby this weekend?
Oh, yeah, I think he gives us the best chance to win, you know.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there, Chief. And, look, winning isn't that important.
Oh, no, I'm sure it is, boss. This is football, you see, and ever since I've been playing it, you're supposed to win.
I don't care. Start the kid or start from.
Well, but I already went and had a press conference. What am I supposed to do now?
I don't know. Make some shit up. You pulled a hamstring or something. Just do it.
That's going to sound awful fishy, boss.
Yeah, but that's your problem. Did you get those boxes I sent you?
Yes, sir, I got them.
Good. Fill them up with your shit by the end of the week.
Okay, happy. Hello.
So there you go.
Josh wasn't playing.
There you go.
He wasn't messing.
So we have the scoop right there. Yeah, I don't think he was ready to play, and I think that it's very possible that a guy of he could pull a hamstring. It's possible. So anyway, all right. Moving back into the offense, did you see anything else about the offense that was actually good to see? I did. I thought
yes.
We ran the football.
When you target Terry, good things happen.
Mm-hmm. We ran the football and targeted our receiver. We gave our best target shots at the ball. All right.
Getting the ball out quick works too.
Like I said to you, this team did not quit, which is good. There was two incidents where we had interceptions. The first one, the first person running for that ball to try and make it up is Terry. The second time round on the interception, Trent Scott was screaming down the field for a ball, so much so that he could barely get off the field after. He needed oxygen on the side because he's a big guy. But at least this team is trying. Yes, they may be poor, they may be shit, but he's trying.
Oh my
and that's
God!
Also,
they deserve.
They
deserve participation trophies.
No, but in serious note, effort is what, as a fan, John.
Scott's 100% right here, and I know, our buddies like Burrows and stuff like that, and Scouts say that they've given up. Past few weeks, and I don't believe that. I'm with you. I'm with you, Scott. I think they have been trying. I just don't think they're very good.
I agree with that. I think the roster's poor, and that's part of. That's down to coaching. It's down to roster management. It's down to Ron, the GM, as well. And then you look around you and you think to yourself, well, look, they're not giving up. And I know you laughed there and thought, yeah, that's it. All I want to see is effort. If long as they're trying and there's efforts there, we were never going to win this game, John. We were never. If we won this game and we were close, which we were at 10-13 at halftime, I was like, holy shit, this is closer than I want it to be, because I don't want this. I don't want a high draft pick. Obviously, I want to win, but I want to be competitive. And as long as we're competitive against one of the best teams in the NFL, who are probably going to make a Super Bowl, I'm comfortable with that. All right,
until our coaches let us down.
Yeah,
specifically Eric Bieniemy.
I agree with you there.
In thinking about it,
you brought up our friends. Sorry, just shout out to Andy, who had himself a car accident this week, so we wanted to make sure he was all right. I see your insurance, please.
Oh, we love Andy. And going back on what y'all were saying, about Sam and how Bieniemy was calling an offense. You saw that long pass to Terry. That was a beautiful.
It was an on target pass.
He was able to do that because Bieniemy, they were able to set it up by running the ball. By doing some short stuff and making the defense play honest. But after that, it seemed like after that throw right there, Bieniemy was like, oh, let's.
Right back to what we're used to doing.
Yeah. So I still see like this morning, I even saw people tweeting out or responding to other tweets about Eric Bieniemy and wanting him to stay here. I like that game was the epitome of why he should not.
I don't think it's something to worry about. When you look at
I think he's gone.
You can make all the excuses for him you want, but the fact of the matter is he bears a great deal of responsibility for it.
Yeah.
And you see why, exactly that, because
especially if we're going to go offensive coach, he's out the door.
We know that Brian Robinson was kicking their ass yesterday. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. He was running hard. He was hitting holes. He was knocking those linebackers. He was getting to the second level and getting speed. He was getting some speed up. And the fact of the matter was, and so was Antonio Gibson, but as soon as fucking Robinson would have one of those runs where he'd punish some people and then break outside and make them chase him, where did he go? They pulled him out, pulled him right to the fucking sidelines. There he is, sitting over there. Why the fuck do you stop that? He's a train. He's a fucking train, all right? I don't care whether he got shot 2 years ago or not. That dude is fully fucking healthy. He's strong as a goddamn ox, and you see what he can do. Keep hitting him. Keep pounding him. I get it. Warner's having a good game. By the way, Scott, don't tell me about Warner anymore. We're fucking Commanders fans. We don't need linebackers. We don't believe in that shit. So
we do. We got the security guard David Mayo. It's all right. Don't worry.
Right. But that's how you neutralize a guy like that. You say, okay, get a fullback in here. Did you see what was the Raiders were running a fullback in front of their running back on Sunday or on Saturday or whatever day that was against the Chiefs? God damn it, he was kicking their ass and opening holes. So when you have a back that's doing that, man, keep doing it. Keep doing it. Let him get going. You got everybody's going. He gets better as the game goes on. Not if you keep sitting him down. He doesn't. God damn it.
Two things I'm really looking forward to, in the coming, next season, obviously. One is the coaching staff being able to use the talent around, here, especially on offense. There's talented pieces on this offense. Yeah, we just talked about Brian Robinson, Jahan Dotson, Terry McLaurin, if he winds up staying. And really, like, the defensive backfield, I still think there's some talent there. I want to see the coach get the most out of him. I seriously, truly believe what hurt us most on defense this year is Chris Harris not being there. That was a big thing. That was big time.
Letting some guy that they freaking pulled off of a goddamn food truck.
Yeah. But you do see these youngsters, even for Forbes yesterday, Castro Fields, you see these young players that are out there, they're running their asses off. And teams are going to get thrown on and they're going to, cornerbacks are going to get completions made on them. It happens every single game. But I love what I saw from Forbes yesterday. I really did. He was sticky. He was sticky in coverage, So
Martin played really well.
I got high hopes for him in the future. It's like what you said, Scotty. It's good to still see them not give up. We got one more game left. I think this is an important game for Dallas coming up. I don't know what. I don't think there's any word out what's going to happen with. Are they going to let Sam finish out the year, or is it going to be Brissett ball? But I think
I saw Ron's presser and he hasn't decided. He said they'll take that into the week.
I haven't gotten my phone call to tell me what to do yet.
Yeah,
that's true.
So, all right, let's move over to the defense a little bit because you did bring up some of the performances of these defensive backs, and I thought that was pretty good. Like you said, I thought Tariq Castro Fields. It was a play that was only like maybe a 4-yard gain. All right, but it was only a 40, maybe a 6-yard gain, 7-yard gain, but it was only that much because Castro Fields actually fucking drove on the receiver and tackled the son of a bitch.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe it. I was like, "Who the hell? Oh my god, who taught him that?"
You're not going to see St. Juice do that. You're not going to see Fuller do that.
Nope, you don't see any of them do that. You said Quan Martin had a good game, dude.
Yeah,
I thought
fucked George Kittle up, man.
He did.
Yeah,
and right over the top of that was Forbes coming in with his bony ass, an elbow from him. That's gotta hurt. So yeah, I thought I'm not a guy that likes blood and guts or anything like that, but when he knocked fucking Kittle like that and there was no flag, I'm like, fuck you.
I'm really liking how Quan is turning out.
Quan's trending up. That's good, and I like the fact that he played. We were worried about his injury, and he did play quite well. I thought.
I thought Holmes played okay as well, but I hope he's okay. I hope he's okay.
Yeah, that's
who doesn't. Fucking Trent Williams doesn't give a shit. Did you see him? Dude fell down right in front of him. Williams never even took his eyes off the bananas that they were holding out in front.
Yeah, has there been any news about Holmes?
He just got a concussion protocol. And all you people that are going to yell at me about that joke, he calls himself the Silverback. That's what I said for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it just did not look good on screen, man. It wasn't fainted like that. I don't know if he fainted or
that long after the contact, because
no, you can't. Like hugged Williams and then he fell behind him.
Well, he not only hugged Williams, he kind of walked around a little bit for a second. He was getting up and getting ready to head back over to the huddle, and then he was
talking to Trent too,
right? And he was smiling, and then all of a sudden, boom! And the lights went out. That was scary. So I've read
if it's like a blood sugar thing, or who knows? It could be anything.
It could be that.
Scary shit though.
It is. When that kind of stuff happens, they have to. What was it? Not Deshazer ever. Who's our fucking defensive back we had for 1 year that was showing a lot of promise, and he had an injury like that. I think it was the end zone. Tyshawn Jarrett.
Yeah,
that's right. So man, you got to just err on the side of caution in those kinds of things.
When they were taking him out in the cart, they showed video. I mean, he was like kind of like squinting his eyes. Like it looks. I get migraines. And I look like that when that happens. Like my eyes go and just kind of like flutter like that. So I don't know. Maybe it was kind of like a mix of the two. Who knows? But it was scary.
I hope he's okay though. Obviously, he and you know what? He had a couple of good pass breakups. He looked decent. You know what I mean? And that's what I mean. These young guys running around. That's what we wanted to see. We wanted to see, do we have any sort of resemblance of talent on this roster? And then you look and Castro Fields goes out and you're like, now then, Holmes is out and it's like, well, who's next? We're literally trying to find anybody that could play DB. It was wild.
This defense only giving up 27 points to the 49ers, I think
that's good.
Not bad. It's not great.
Well,
not good, but that's
good for us.
Football team.
I thought they were going to put
backups out there. Other guys like Cody Barton, dude, what the hell are you doing out there? David Mayo did make a play. We were all happy about that. We were shopping for the jersey. I bet it's on clearance, but we
did real good in the red zone. Pretty good in the red zone.
Okay, I'll give you that.
As the defense.
Stop.
Early in the game. We had three red zone stops. Is that what you said? Yeah.
I thought they were flying to the ball pretty well, man, in terms of tackling. Kaliki Hudson, he's like a little, I don't know. He's like a 4-year-old that doesn't stop climbing on his uncle. The dude never stops.
I wish he was a touch bigger. I wish he was like 15 pounds bigger. Too. I think he'd be a good linebacker.
He's got all kinds of
pounds and 2 inches bigger. He'd be all over
20 pounds. If you give him 2 inches, I want 25 more pounds on him because he does get pushed around when he's trying to blitz, man. He does. He looks like Kevin Hart trying to get on the stage after the Eagles won the Super Bowl that year. Remember that? You remember that? He was trying to get on the stage, and they were like, "No, get your short ass out."
I was surprised. I mean, I'm kind of surprised he doesn't lose a little bit more weight and try, safety. I mean, maybe he just doesn't have the speed for that. I don't know.
He is short. That's, I think, the biggest issue with him, in my opinion.
But the defense did okay. Up front again, Jonathan Allen had a couple of good stops. He made a difference. Payne made a difference.
But no pressures.
Pressures.
Not really.
No pressures,
there was a couple of times. The one touchdown that everybody was blaming Forbes for, they did run him around. They ran Purdy all over the place. He finally got way to the outside, and then he did the thing and made the play.
I mean, I don't know if they got a couple good run stops, but I mean, McCaffrey was running all over him, and then when McCaffrey went out, Elijah Mitchell just tore him up. So I'm not giving no.
Well, Elijah Mitchell played like a quarter and a half, and got 80 odd yards. Yeah. I mean. What's McCaffrey doing if he's staying in there?
Call him what you should be calling him, Mr. MVP.
MVP, 100%.
Mr. MVP.
Well, I'm looking at the stats.
I'm still on the Lamar Jackson wagon on that one.
Oh, come on, Jamal didn't sway you. He had a good post.
He had a damn good point. Jamal has a damn good point. But I'm still on that Jackson bandwagon. We got a game left. We'll see what happens.
What were you saying, Scotty?
So Mitchell got 17 carries for 80. McCaffrey and a touchdown. McCaffrey was 14 for 64. Obviously, listen, if he's in there, I mean, he's sitting on the sideline with his helmet on. They just didn't want him to go. They were just like, you know what?
I bet if it's a playoff game, he would have gone.
Yeah, they weren't going to lose this game.
100%.
Especially after we changed our offense and basically went right back into play into every defense's hands.
When you're giving up 160 yards, on the ground, that's not a really good day for the defensive line.
Let's talk Sam then. Do you think this is it? It is done for not saying that next week he might start again, but do you think this is the last we see as a starter?
He's going to be on the roster.
I don't know.
Oh yeah. Of course he is.
The fact of the matter is, even if we draft a guy at number 2. They can start Howell next year. If let's say they don't build the line as well as they feel comfortable with right now, they can start Howell next year and let the year progress and bring him in later in the year and see how he does it. Whatever depends on what the year does. No matter what, I should hope that people out there would not expect, let's say everything breaks the way we want and you get exactly who you want. The Santa Claus reads everybody's letter and all you get exactly who you want. I hope you don't think we're going to fucking light the world on fire next year. We're probably going to win 3 or 4 football games or 5 football games.
And that's okay. It should be okay.
Right. We're building again.
We know this fan base are not going to be okay with it, but that's the
reality. No one's patient.
Situation.
No one's patient.
It's
Jessy, I mean,
win a few games next year.
What do you do? This is the problem now with draft. I mean, we're going on to draft talk here, but what do we do with this number 2 overall pick? Do you trade up to 1 to ensure you get your guy? Do you go? Do you know what? I'm gonna stay pat at 2 and hope that Chicago don't take a quarterback. Because I tell you what, if they take a quarterback, if they take Williams, I am on the phone to Chicago immediately, offering whatever the fuck they want, apart from that first round pick. Apart from the first rounder. I mean, if you're going to go second and a 6th, I'll give you that for Justin Fields.
No way.
Absolutely.
That's way too much.
Absolutely.
Way too much. Now,
I think you have to look and see who calls them, because I think they're going to stick with Fields. They've already said.
Do you think so?
Dude, they're going to stick with Eberflus. If you're the ownership, expect it to be somewhat sensible and say, I'm going to keep this coach who has like a 7-35 record. He's not good. And I'm going to say you can have whichever quarterback you want right now. I'm going to let you have another year to show me that you can at least have a winning record. And I'm going to let you have any rookie you want with the first overall pick, something that valuable. You're going to put it in Eberflus's hands. I don't think so. If they keep Eberflus, I think they're going to keep Fields, and I think that they are going to keep Fields. And they're going to take every offer that they can to see who wants to trade up into that number 1 and go for whichever quarterback they want. Because there's going to be
one thing about moving up to number 1. We'll get fleeced if we want to move up to number 1.
Not us. Yeah, we don't.
I'm just saying if we do, because the facts of the matter is you're going to have other teams winning that same position.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And I'm talking about teams right behind us. I'm talking about the third and fourth picks. The Patriots and
the Giants even.
So for us just to move up 1 spot, we're probably going to have to give up 2 1s. This year's 1 and next year's 1.
In terms of the quarterbacks, though,
that's just for 1 spot. That's just to be able to beat out these guys.
Williams and May are like 1 and 1A, right? So if one of them goes, do you just take the next one?
It all depends on
obviously depends on
the system and what they glean from the interviews. I mean, who fucking knows? We don't know what the new coaching staff, what style that they're going to want to run.
I'll tell you who will find out for us. It'll be Magic Johnson. So let's see what he had to say about the game yesterday.
Meditations with Magic Johnson.
It is New Year's Day, and 2023 was certainly a very interesting year for me. I became an owner of the Washington Commanders, and that has been very interesting. It is interesting because I thought I was buying a football team, and I have found out most of these players should be working at Jiffy Lube. I wish they would have told me about Andrew Wiley before I wrote the check. It has been a learning experience in 2023. Like yesterday, on the very last day of the year, I found out we are allowed to let the quarterback hand the ball to somebody else to run with it. It is called a handoff, and I thought we were only allowed to do that in the second half. I can't wait to fire everybody.
Fucking Jiffy Lube.
No,
so bad you had something to say. All right, let me see. Before we get to some butt pats and some head slaps, I'm going to have to take care of some business. So you boys talk about.
Okay. So yeah, Jessy. What else?
It
shouldn't be Jerry. No.
Yeah, unless y'all want to talk to him today, we might.
Yeah, we'll save him. We'll call him on Friday.
All right.
Yeah, I think for Dallas week is the way to go. Right, I'm trying to think of what else we could talk about. David Tepper and his throwing of drinks.
Oh my God! What the fuck? Yeah, that talk about a bad look.
That was
throwing a drink on a fan. This sounds like such a Dan Snyder move. Like what? That's just bad, man. That's bad. I know. Bad look. I think he's going to get in trouble for that.
He is, but even though it's 2024, right, and we're not got nothing to look forward to as this team. At least our owner isn't like that. We have a different ownership. We don't have Dan Snyder anymore. You got to be thankful for that, because that's the sort of shit that we would do. You know what I mean? That is the sort of shit that we go, well, you're right, Scott. Even Dan wasn't that stupid. You're probably right. David Tepper is honestly, he is a powder keg waiting to go off. God only knows what's going to happen there with that, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. But I don't know. I don't know. That was just not a good look at all.
He wasn't even throwing it on a fan. He was just throwing it because he's a petulant little bastard. He threw it out the window at all the other fans. It wasn't anybody specific. He threw it. Oh yeah, he was a dick. He expected it to hit fans.
Oh yeah. But that's what I'm saying. He expected it to hit someone, John, but he's not like I'm throwing it individually at someone who's maybe giving him shit. Do you know what I mean? I understand.
He was just like, fuck all of y'all. Yeah, fuck him too. Anyway.
Wow. Just wow. What a guy though. I mean, what a thing to do. Just
when you got the money, whatever. I suppose you can get out of anything like that. All
right,
so
I think it should be Doc draft picks.
Doc the first overall pick.
Well,
all right. Well, let's try
maybe a fifth or something like that.
There we go. Let's do some butt pats and head smack.
Okay.
All right. We'll start off with you, Scott. Anybody on offense that you want to give a butt pat to?
Yeah, of course I do. I will go Cornelius Lucas and Trent Scott, even though Trent Scott got quite a few penalties against him. They both had good games. They both contained well. They were
like 70 on PFF. Good. That's not good. Come on now.
For backup tackles,
we didn't take the sacks that we probably could have taken. Right? If
I was expecting a 5-sack game. You know what I mean?
No shit. I mean, yeah. Could you imagine Bosa looking at Wiley on film and going, "Oh my god, this is going to be so much fun." Jesus Christ.
Let's see. I mean, Brian Robinson.
Yeah,
he's definitely deserves one. I mean, there's a couple that goes around. We haven't really given too many, butt smacks on offense lately. So there's actually a couple to go around.
Yeah,
so definitely Brian Robinson. He definitely
Brian Robinson in the passing game too. I mean, he had a couple of nice runs busting up through the middle, off tackle runs. I like those. And then a couple of short passes. He turned into some good games. I'm going to go with Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, that was my other one.
They played smart football there for a good quarter almost, where they were actually balancing what they were doing and they were able to actually work the ball to their playmakers. And what do you know? When you do that, they make plays. And I think Terry did yesterday. That touchdown catch was nice, man. He had some attitude on that. He caught the ball and he caught the defensive back. So that's pretty good. We should got an extra 2 points for that.
Yeah.
Who else you got, Scott?
On offense, I'm pretty much there. That is it. I've got no one else. Terry, B-Rob, and them two linemen.
No. Offensive lineman out there. I'll throw Sam Cosmi out there.
Sam Cosmi,
absolutely. Really good game.
100%.
Cosmi, when he thought that ball was fumbled, was fucking fighting. Boy, I like that.
Yeah. Cosmi had a good
manhandling dudes, throwing dudes around. That's what I want to see. He's good. And you know what? He's done very, very well at guard. And actually, when you look at, I know PFF isn't everything, but
I wish he had produced that talent at tackle. Even right tackle for that.
Yeah, I know.
He could. Be an anchor.
We wouldn't even had to look at Andrew Wiley. Now we have to look at him
100%.
Look, I'll tell you what. I think he's been our most consistent lineman this year.
Sure.
Yep. Facts. Yeah. Absolutely.
Cosmi.
Absolutely. He's been our best lineman statistically.
Nick Cates played better than, even though he didn't have a great game, he played better than I think he's played all season too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess getting benched will fucking do that for you. They should make him get a haircut too. You look sloppy.
I wish they play him at guard.
I think they should try him at left guard.
That's an off-season conversation because we've got the I can't even remember the center that we drafted. What the fuck is his name? Because he's never there.
Stromberg
played pretty well at guard. So maybe we keep Larson and that's a conversation for another day. All right, so let's do some head smacks on offense. Who you got there, Scott? Head smack on offense.
Eric Bieniemy for not being able to sorry Jesse, just for not being able to. This is now this is how many weeks now are we ever going to see him not make adjustments when we need to make adjustments, and the adjustments that he does make
are wrong.
They go the wrong way around.
Right. He's had he's called 2.5 good games, both Eagles games and half of the Denver game. That's it.
Yeah. Well, the first half, you could say yesterday as well, so you could probably equate it to 3. and say 3 decent games.
I don't even want to give him that. Fuck him.
I mean, he totally ignored the running game all year long. And it really, when you have a young quarterback, you don't drop him back 40 to 50 times every week, man. I don't give a shit, because you can look at me all you want and say, oh, well, what else do you do when you're down 20-0? Well, that's how you get down 20-0, dummy. That's how you get there. Run the ball.
I gave him the half in the Denver game just because it was so early in the season. He was still trying to figure stuff out, but it's week 17, man. And you haven't figured it out yet. So no, fuck.
That's not getting good.
Well, I don't understand
it out for a quarter yesterday.
Do you think he's just got bet credit in the bank, and that's why people are the way they are with him? Because in the press they're on about, oh, he's amazing. He's this,
they love him in the press.
They love him.
Love him in the
press. Okay. But they're not seeing what we're seeing week in, week out, because for me, there is just literally 0 adjustments.
Well, did we see a play yesterday in which Sam Howell and the offensive line rolled out to the left and they flooded all the receivers to the right? And it's like, what the fuck? What the hell was that? We saw that one play that Brian Robinson fucked up, where they he fucked it up. They faked it to Terry coming across on a jet sweep, and then he was going to give him the option pitch. And whether it would have worked, I don't know. But Sam turned around and fucking Robinson's going the other way. And it's like,
there was nobody there.
You don't follow the fake, stupid. You go the other way. So
you saw it in the huddle afterwards, though. You could see B-Rob saying, "That's my fault. I'm sorry." Okay.
It looked like Sam fucked that one up at first, but I mean, maybe Sam screwed the other one up when Sam went one way and everybody else went the other way too. So,
but the whole offensive line went with Sam. That's the thing. They all rolled out with him. They moved the pocket, but they took all the receivers and sent them over to New Jersey.
Yeah.
So all right. So Eric Bieniemy for you. What about you, Jess? You got a head smack on offense?
I mean, it was Eric Bieniemy. I got a few. Got anybody else?
I'll tell you what. I'm going to give one. Sam Howell, dude. You were only accurate for a small portion of the game. You were inaccurate. You had double clutches. You cost us yardage and plays because of those double clutches that probably you could have completed passes. And look, man, if you're afraid of interceptions or anything like that, you can't be. That's the difference between those kinds of quarterbacks and quarterbacks that can play. They let it go. All right. If an obvious situation is coming up, obviously, but you got to trust what you see. You got to trust it. All right. And if it's the offensive coordinator, it'll be obvious. But the double clutch, that's on you. This fucking hoppy, skippy, happy feety that you got going on there when you're doing that shit's on you. The interception yesterday, dude, game killer right there in the second quarter, game killer. Everything changed after that. They stopped doing what was working, and that's where you look at Bieniemy and say, what the fuck are you doing? But maybe Bieniemy looked at Sam on the sidelines and went, shit, this kid's broken. This broke him, this interception. He had another one earlier in the game that should have been picked, but was dropped. So, he just didn't have a good game. I'm going to go ahead and give another one to Jahan Dotson. Where the fuck are you, dude? Are you out sightseeing? What are you doing? He's just missing in action completely. And I mean, I don't think it's on him, but
I think it's scheme related, man. I really do.
Freeze him out entirely. That's your first round pick last year. We talk about how bad these drafts.
But hold on, we've said this. I agree with you. I totally agree with you. I was thinking Jahan myself, but we've sat here 2 weeks ago and said, "Oh yeah, there's Terry doing cardio." What's the difference? Is the scheme? It's
I don't know.
Clearly the scheme. It has to be because they're not targeting them. They're not targeting. Always one of these receivers is not targeted.
I know I'm beating the dead horse
out of the game for you.
I know I'm beating a dead horse by saying this, but last year, I mean, one thing that was clear and evident all year long was receivers were running wide open.
Yes,
I mean, it's unfortunate that Taylor wasn't as very accurate and lots of times shot
like yesterday,
but it's such a night and day difference this year because you have receivers running in the same area there. I mean, within a couple yards apart and not getting open. I mean, is Bieniemy just really bad at scheming?
The field?
Yeah. Is he just that bad at scheming receivers open? I mean, did he expect Sam to be able to run around in the backfield like Patrick Mahomes did? I mean, come on. There's only one.
Makes me really think that Andy Reid designed the X's and the O's, and that even if EB called the plays, he had a much better selection to choose from.
Oh, I don't think
designing his own offense hasn't really worked out because it's week 17, man. And if you're running this little option play and your running back goes completely the wrong way, oh, come on, man, what the fuck is that?
I think Andy Reid made me get when Cincinnati was up by a good 3 scores. I think that's when Andy Reid gave Eric Bieniemy the
kind of like he did with what's his name down in Jacksonville. He was the Eagles coach, Peterson. Yeah.
Doug,
right.
Yeah.
Right. So, all right. Let's see. We got any more head smacks on offense? Just general head smacks on offense. Once again. All right. So let's do some butt pats for defense. Go ahead, Jesse. You're first.
Yeah. Shit. Forbes. I've been talking about him all podcast, man. Good for him. That playing time. It was good to see. The scheme that Ron was running for him. He was basically stuck on his man or in zone. He did not look confused. He was sticky on receivers. He had some plays got made on him, but he was right there. So, yeah, Forbes definitely deserves one.
I agree. I'd be careful how hard I hit him. I don't want to hurt him because he is a small guy. But I do like watching him play, man. He's he's long. His hands are in front of guys. Yeah. He's molesting this dude all the way up.
He's got really long arms, long arms too.
Right. And I'll tell you, they did get beaten a couple of zones, right? The 49ers are damn good wide receivers, and they found some holes in those zones, but they closed up relatively quickly. That's why I said earlier about Tariq Castro-Fields driving on a receiver and making a tackle. And I'm like, that's not what we do. We wait and let them get 5 yards before they hit us, and then we fall backwards. Tariq Castro-Fields drove on it, and they did the same thing on these balls most of the time that got into these soft spots in the zone. So, yeah, I think the defensive backs really stepped up yesterday. So I'm going to give them that entire crew a butt pat. Attaboy.
Well done. Nice. Like that. I'm going to go individually here on the defensive backs. I'm going to give Cameron Curl a butt pat. Attaboy. He saved 2 touchdowns on 2 of his plays, 9 tackles. It wasn't amazing having 9 tackles, but with what it happened in the game itself, when you watch the plays unfold, he clearly saved 2 touchdowns. So for me, it was like the Cameron Curl of old. It was like, oh, hello, you are alive. Where have you been? And he's been gone for weeks, and then suddenly we have this patchwork defensive backs, and it's like, actually, Cameron Curl's there. He's the leader. You know what I mean? And he showed it.
Yeah, it's like a couple of years ago when all of a sudden him and Jeremy Reeves were back there playing their ass off, from like, who are these guys? What about you, Jesse? About any butt pats on defense?
We'll go again with Quan Martin.
Attaboy.
Yeah, good show.
Quan Martin definitely deserves one. He's flying around, big hitter, and I'm excited to see him and Forbes in the future. Who knows what's going to happen with Curl, being that his contract is up, but he's looking a lot more comfortable out there.
I think that, it's easy to say once Jack's gone and all that kind of stuff like that, but he played well in the past. Whatever it is, I would say that they should look at re-signing him, but I wouldn't want to break the bank on him. He's not the safety that we thought he was.
Definitely not breaking the bank on him.
Not right now. It depends on the defensive coordinator and what he sees in him and what he can work with him on. You got any other butt pats on defense?
Yeah, I got one. I'm gonna give it to David Mayo. 8 tackles, 6 solo tackles, and he got 2 tackles for loss, and it was the highest tackles for loss on our team.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen him out there making plays, so I'm like, you know what? Fair play. You're not what we expect. We don't want you actually on the field the vast majority of the time. You are a great special teamer, but when he's called upon, he played well. He played okay.
Yeah, I thought so too. That's a good one. What about you, Jesse? Got anybody?
Nah.
Struggling after that.
I tell you what, I'll give attaboy. Just one for Jonathan Allen because he got his name said yesterday. In a couple of different ways. He got his name said a few times. He was rolling around out there pretty hard, so I'll give him one for that. Attaboy. All right, what about some head smacks? Joe, go ahead, Scott.
Head smacks on defense. The both edge rushers, Casey Tuhill, nowhere near. Henry, not so sure. Had a bigger game yesterday than he has done for the rest of the season so far. James Smith-Williams.
Yeah,
are we even out there?
You look like when you're going up against Trent Williams. You can't really expect him to do a whole bunch.
I understand.
I don't know. He was rushing on the other side too, and he's just
absolutely zero pressure, no sacks whatsoever.
James Smith-Williams, when you see him out there, I'm sorry, he's got a beer belly. All right, and you're a defensive end. Okay, you're not built like a defensive tackle, but he does. He's got a fucking gut, and you got to get in shape, man. It's that simple, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, he has been out for a couple of weeks. Maybe he was, he
was indulging. Right?
Baby, you got a baby.
Let's see. Head smack on defense for me.
Yeah, it's hard because even though we gave up 27 points and I would say the whole defensive line gives one.
I would say I'm going to go with Cody Barton because even though he had a play or two, you're the middle linebacker, dude. You can't afford to keep getting stuck in these fucking holes, washed out of plays like you do, picking the wrong fucking gap like you do. I've heard so much about what he was able to do in Seattle, and I have not seen any of it. If I've seen any of it, it's been the slightest little glimmers. Every once in a while, you just go, oh, hey, who's 57? Oh, yeah, that's the guy. What's he doing not getting fucking burned? Why is he not getting
he's on contract for another year, isn't it? Or did he just sign a 1 year?
1 year, just a 1 year deal.
1 year? I thought he was 3. Okay.
No, it's a 1 year, all guaranteed deal.
Wiley was 3.
All guaranteed.
Wiley was 3. So he is, all of his money was guaranteed to get him across here. It wasn't much. It was about 7 mil or something like that. But funnily enough, Scousey's mate who's a big Seahawks fan. I remember talking about it, and he just said, he tackles a lot, but he's absolutely fucking atrocious. Yeah. And that is exactly what he is. He tackles a lot, but he doesn't do anything.
We learned that with Cole Holcomb. You can have
Cole Holcomb Mark II, isn't it?
Right.
It's an upgraded version of Cole Holcomb. It's like going from the Mark III Fiesta to the Mark IV Fiesta. There's no difference.
What Jessy was saying earlier, looking at the stats will tell you a lie because Cole Holcomb, he leads the team in tackles, but they're all 7 yards downfield while he's holding on for dear life. So, anyway,
I want to give a head smack to the announcers as well. They pissed me off yesterday.
They were
I understand, and everybody in the media, everybody knows Ron's gone, but you can't openly be talking about one more game under Ron Rivera. I'm like, what the? Am I on a different planet here? We're still trying to win a game. Give the man his due, still the head coach.
Ron bought a brand new squeegee they saw over at Lowe's, so he might have some plans for what he's going to do. Look, I can't wait for it. At this juncture, I don't want any reason at all. I don't want him to show up next week and win the football game and make Josh Harris look at him and go, well, maybe maybe. No, I don't. I'm going to openly call for it. I want to get our asses kicked to start Jake Fromm next week. Let's get it done.
He's gone. He already knows he's gone.
I want them gone.
Saw the video of the Chicago Bears game. All the fans chanting, "We want Fields."
Yeah, I saw that.
Fields. So looks like
Marvin Harrison Jr., number 1 overall pick.
Look, if they,
that'd be good. That'd be a good pick for the Bears.
It would. It might. It would.
Pair him up with DJ Moore. Woo.
Because they've not got their offensive line is pretty stout. I think. If I'm led to believe, I think they haven't got a bad offensive line. So
I don't think Fields played with him in college at all. I don't think they crossed at all. But still, to have the same offensive coordinators and offensive coaches that were teaching
they'll know.
Yeah. Oh, goddamn right they will. They'll have a connection immediately.
And at the end of the day, John, that connection can be made immediately with a quarterback and a wide receiver. You just go and train.
We're
just go and train. That's it.
Couple of drinks.
Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is going to be a Washington Commander.
I think he will do. I think he will be too.
I just hope he's mature enough to handle it. That's my question. On Caleb Williams, because I think he's got the talent. It's just his maturity is.
Be humble.
It doesn't always work when we pick a guy from the DMV either.
Well,
a guy who supported the team, I mean? It's like,
you can say talent works. I don't care where he's from. I care about his intangibles and his
that's
leadership.
The most important thing. His arm and all that kind of stuff like that. That's going to come in here and it can be worked on no matter what. But the intangibles that have him with the proper attitude to be able to take the lumps that are going to come, to be able to learn what's going to come. I've said it a million times. NFL quarterback is the rarest position in all of sports. All right. Mm-hmm. It's the hardest thing to find because it's the hardest jump from one level to the next. To go from the highest of the highest levels of college football to the lowest team on the NFL is a jump that is like light years. All right. That's why all these people they talk about. Go ahead, Scott.
This guy's been talked about for 5 years as being an absolute world pick. He is going to be a, quote, generational talent. That's what we've been told. Look, for 15 years plus, 20, even 25. I mean, honestly, name me a franchise quarterback that we have ever had that hasn't gone either wrong or has left the building. Kirk Cousins,
Joe Theismann got his legs
RG3.
in half.
Yeah, okay, I get that. But genuinely, who have we had in the last 25 years? No one.
Nobody.
And this is what's plagued us for so many years.
I mean,
never had that one person.
We had Kirk Cousins, and we ran him out of the building.
Kirk and RG3. Apart from them, that's probably your last. I mean, Kirk's on the chopping block. If you want to,
well, I mean, he's on the chopping block for money, but it's not because of performance. The dude can play. That was the best quarterback we've had in this building since Joe.
Yeah, and we let him walk.
Agreed.
And we got rid of. We didn't just let him walk.
So is Caleb Williams going to be the guy? But Scott's got a good shout there in the chat there saying New England trades to one, Bears get more picks, and they still get Harrison. That is possible, but if it's someone like Bill, if Bill Belichick's still there, which we don't expect him to be, don't be surprised if they take Drake May. You know what I mean? Because of the character concerns as you're talking about there, Jesse. And we got 4 months of this, so we can get into this a lot later. But it's just.
I mean, I think I'll be happy. I'll be happy if we wound up with either May or Williams. I think I just if we're going to be picking that high, Daniels or you just wait till the second round and get a quarterback. Or go with the Jacoby Brissett.
If you even do that,
build other way.
If you're second, you've got to take a QB. You just got to. Either May or Williams.
It's 1A. Right, it's either Williams or it's May. Yeah,
it can't be Daniels. It cannot be Daniels.
That's why I said last week, if it was still the Cardinals in that spot, and if we somehow drop back down to 3, and both Williams and May go, take Joe Alt or trade down.
There's still a chance we might be picking 5th or 6th. Depends on what's going to happen next week.
You're such a
pessimist. Yeah, I know. Don't do that to me.
Yeah, Jesse. I'm a pessimist now, expecting to win.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, so the Cowboys are coming up next, and they do have a lot to play for. Man, the shit's kind of breaking their way right now, even though they've had a bad month. I thought,
but the curse still stands. Every different NFC East champion every year. That's what's going to happen again.
Unless
as long as they lose in the first round.
Unless Dallas plays Philly like the first round. Well, yeah. Dallas will probably lose the first round.
What was the stat I saw today that Philly is the first team that started 10-1 that will have 5+ losses on the season.
5 losses. Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
Their fan base is freaking out. And I am loving this. It's brilliant.
This is what happens. You win the Super Bowl and a kid gets down on his hands and knees and eats horse shit on camera and you curse the city again for another 100 years. That's the rule. I don't make them.
They're talking about firing. They're talking about firing Sirianni now.
Oh my God!
What are you talking?
No,
about?
I think they were talking about Daboll, Josina Anderson.
Brian Daboll. I could see him getting fired. I could see that because I think that the pinhead up in New York is a dumbass. Yeah. Simple as that. Mara's a dumbass. I think he's a pinhead. I think he'll make a rash decision. I think he'll look at because what they say after when Daniel Jones got hurt, he didn't come out of his room all night. He wouldn't come out of his office. Did you guys read this? He didn't come out of his fucking office all night. His staff got worried and left food outside the door for him. He didn't touch it. Wouldn't come out. He was in there cussing and hollering, kicking shit around. God damn it, I'm just Daniel Jones. So, I'm just for sure. Yeah, he's a moron. And so, I think he will fire.
Every NFC East coach could get fired. Wow.
I think it is Daboll. So,
do you think Daboll's going to get fired? No.
I think so.
Sirianni, no way. The Eagles don't.
You're talking about the tweet Josina Anderson.
Anderson.
Yeah, Sirianni ain't going nowhere.
Right, and neither is Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, I don't.
No.
Yeah, it has to be Daboll.
It's Daboll because not only has he. I'll tell you what, they might just take over and hire what's his name, Wink Martindale. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
The Giants defense plays, and there's a bit, or at least there was reported rift between them a couple of weeks ago. So I think it's Daboll. He kind of rubbed him the wrong way, and then he's a little pinhead up in the top office there. All right, so Scott, we have 33 seconds left. You got something left that you want to say? I'm telling you what. Scott's got my chair rigged up so that if I don't shut the show down at 60 minutes,
It's late over here, man. It's late. I'm back in work tomorrow.
All right.
We're going to win an hour early for you.
Yeah, let's go watch some college football.
I appreciate that.
You should watch the game, Scott, if they've got them on over there for you. Unless you're going.
Oh, they've got them on. I can watch them. Don't you worry. But I'm in work. First day back in work tomorrow. So, yeah, interesting times.
Yeah, have fun at work tomorrow. All right, we're out of here.
All right. See you.